Welcome back to another episode of Annie's Smoking Pot. Today we are going to be making chocolate chip scones in the air fryer. They cook at 390 degrees for about 18 minutes and they are fantastic and really quite simple. So let's get started. First thing, gotta have my gloves because you know me. Get stuff under your nails, it's just gross. There have been some debates on sometimes I'll call something a biscuit, and I'm part of this group, this air fryer group. And there was this huge debate because I called it my shepherd's pie had a biscuit bottom, and some people in the UK were like, wait, what? Like lemon cookies? What kind of biscuits? No, a biscuit, like a buttermilk biscuit. So now I'm making scones, which in the UK is the correct terminology. Go figure. So let's get started. So we've got 2 cups of flour. To that, we're going to add sugar, salt, and baking powder. We're just gonna give that a mix here. Yes, I'm using my hand because I only took out 1 whisk and I need that for the liquid ingredients. It's also how I stir my cocktails. You know, it works. But unlike a cocktail, I'm not gonna lick my finger and taste test this because that would be gross. Now that you've got all of that mixed together really well, you're going to add 1 stick of butter. You want it very cold and cubed up, just makes it a little bit easier to get broken up into that flour mixture. See if I can do this without losing any. Oh, look at that. Now, anybody who has watched my previous videos about the buttermilk biscuits, you can use a pastry cutter if you want to break this up into your flour. I prefer my hands because I can break it up quicker, easier, and it just, with pastry cutters, I find that it just gets all stuck together and then it becomes almost one big lump and you just have to kind of break it apart. With the miracle of editing, this part, it's going to go really fast. And look at that. Fast forward and we're done. You want to get it to a nice crumbly texture. Once that has been achieved, we're going to move that aside because now we're going to get our wet ingredients ready to go into here. In a separate bowl, we are going to mix together, you know what? Let's just mix it in the measuring cup. Why not? Got a 1/2 cup of buttermilk, add 1 egg, and vanilla. As always, the exact measurements and everything will be in the description below. All right, now I need to find my wooden spoon right there. So now you're gonna make just a little well in the center of your dry ingredients, and we're gonna add our buttermilk mixture right in there. You just wanna get everything mixed together. Make sure you don't have any dry ingredients left behind. All right, and then we're gonna add in our chocolate chips. And again, we're gonna mix that in. Eventually, I'll use my hands once I get all of that flour picked up pretty well here. You don't want to overwork it, otherwise it can cause it to kind of dry out and be extra crumbly, and we don't want that. Now, once we get it all mixed up, scrape off my spoon. Oh, it just looks and smells so good already. Can't go wrong with chocolate chips. Since I didn't use this bowl, we're gonna move it out of the way. I love this thing. It makes cleanup so easy and you're not having to sit there and scrape dried flour bits off your counter. So we're gonna lightly flour this just so our scones don't stick. Now, you don't want to use a rolling pin when you're making scones. Like with biscuits, you want to roll them out and you fold them over so that they rise. Scones, you don't want to do that. Some dry bits left behind. That's okay, because we're going to pick them up right now. Incorporate your dry bits. That could be a great marketing idea, right? Now, you're just going to kind of just lightly work the dough. Like I said, you don't want to overwork it, but you want to make sure that everything is mixed up really well. And then we're going to flatten it to a circle, about an 8-inch circle. Now on here are measurements and it tells me exactly where an 8-inch circle is. but I don't have my glasses on. So we're gonna guess. And everybody knows how I am with measuring. I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something has to be 3/4 of an inch thick. I just guess. I don't know, does that look like an 8-inch circle? Well, maybe not quite yet, huh? Doesn't even look like a circle. Oddest looking circle I've ever seen. I think we're good. Now, what I wanna do is remove my gloves because now I'm just gross. And I have to touch things and I don't want things to get gross. My air fryer is kind of off camera right now because I ran out of room. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started though, because I want it heating up, because you don't want your scone dough. Oh, excuse me, sir. Cameraman, can you plug me in, please? All right, you're gonna fire up your air fryer to air fry, of course. We're gonna go 390 for 18 minutes. One thing, I know I did it the first time. Anybody who has watched my videos, my husband tends to edit this part out. I'll be turning on my air fryer and for some reason I can't talk and work electronics for some reason. And every single time, probably at least 99% of the time, rather than hit the start button, I just shut it back off and I have to start it all back up again. So I'm very happy I actually did it. So now that you've got your scone dough, got your little slicer doodah. Yep, I'm not a baker. Don't claim to be. No idea the terminology, but it's pointy, so don't touch it. And you're gonna cut this into wedges, because scones look like wedges, right? And I am left-handed, so this is awkward. Yes, we'll find out when we get there. All right, we're gonna cut this into wedges. I wanna go small wedges. I'll go thirds. There we go, like this. Oh, no, we're gonna go fourths now.
Good size fourths.
I think those are good size, yeah, okay. Like I said, not a baker, don't claim to be. All right, now that we've got those all cut out, we're gonna wait for that to heat up, and then in they go. I'm hoping an 8-inch circle fits in my air fryer. I might have to break this down and cook them 4 at a time, only because of the fact you don't want them touching in the air fryer, because if they do, then they may not rise properly. So I'm gonna cook 4 at a time, and then the other 4, if you're not gonna cook them right away, put them on some parchment paper and get them into your refrigerator, because you don't want the dough to get too warm. Oh, come on, little doggy, let go. There we go. So my air fryer is taking a great deal of time to heat up. So how are you today? Good? Good. If you like this video, be sure to give it a good thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button down below and share. Share my channel with anybody you think might be interested, or anybody that just needs a good laugh at this crazy little cooking show that I've got going. Oh, did you hear that? That means it's ready. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the scones, but we do have one more thing we need to do before we start cooking them. So we're just gonna gently lay those in there. That one's a little bit bigger than the rest, but you know, you gotta always have that one big kid. Watches out for the little guy. Now that we've got those in there, we are going to just brush them with a little bit of buttermilk, because that's going to give them a nice golden brown color on top. You don't need too much buttermilk, just a little bit. And I find it easier to brush them after they're in the air fryer, because otherwise if you brush them before, when you pick them up, they're just sticky and gooey and just ugh. All right, we're gonna put those in there. In 18 minutes, those will be done. Now, one thing you do wanna do is when you've got 5 minutes left in your air fryer, so at the 13-minute mark, after 13 minutes, 5 minutes left, you wanna go ahead and open it up and flip them over. Otherwise, the bottoms don't quite cook as well, or they just don't get that nice crisp to them. So 5 minutes left, we're gonna flip them over. So I went ahead and took a look at them and flipped them with about 8 minutes left. So I initially said 18-minute cook time. These are only gonna take about 15 minutes based on the size that they are. So just kind of keep an eye on yours as you cook them. And once they get that nice golden brown on top, that's when you're gonna wanna flip them. Once you flip them, they only take it about additional 3 to 4 minutes, and then they're gonna be perfect. So we're gonna let this go for another 5 minutes, and I think we'll be done. Our air fryer has beeped. You know what that means? They're done. Let's take a look. Oh, those look amazing. Let's go ahead and get those out of there. Get them onto our cooling rack. Might be easier said than done, right? Oh, look at that. Don't those look amazing? Whoops! Look, now you can see the inside and how amazing that looks. Like I said, not a baker. Doesn't have to be pretty, just tasty. There we go. And there you have it. We've got some scones. Those look amazing. Look at that. It's so, so tender, moist, crumbly. I don't know what the exact word is. Oh, they're hot though. Woo! Hot. They're hot, but tasty. You know what? I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to give them a taste. Oh. The outside is so crispy, but the inside is just so soft and moist. Absolutely amazing. You have to try this recipe. If you do, let me know how yours turn out. I've got another 4 I'm going to go ahead and get going. So until next time, bye!